come a long way from the Averex. From the days when we had to make the waist stretch. Now it's Vacherons and all the Marpicay sets. You wanna get money with me? Say less. Say less. Say less. You wanna get money with me? Say less.
What's poppin', people? Welcome back to another episode of Say Less with
Kaz and Rosy. That's right. Welcome back, y'all. Make sure appreciate y'all. Hit the subscribe, like, share, tell people, make a comment. Seems like nothing.
I coming back.
Means everything. What's up?
I said I coming back.
Yeah, Rosie comments back. My mom be in the comments. We put this on X now too. You know what I mean? Like, so if you watch on X, you can watch it fully on X, watch on YouTube. But make sure you subscribe to patreon.com/sayless. We got so much great content in there. And it supports us directly. And you know you want to support us directly. So
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
thank y'all so much for pulling up for another episode of Say Less. Now, usually this episode would be out today, but we were talking and we were just like, you know what? The Super Bowl's tomorrow.
We had to wait. We had to wait.
Because I feel like we're going to have a lot to talk about.
I'm so glad we waited.
I'm so glad we waited. I got takes. I got takes.
y'all.
All right, Rosie. So we had a good time. I enjoyed Super Bowl Sunday. We
First of all,
went to your spot. Which is a good time.
Watched it together.
Can we shout out the?
Yeah, of course.
Shout out T Squared. You know what I mean?
Bounce pop up is bounce.
Bounce pop up at T Squared. Shout out Bounce, the legendary Bounce, doing their thing at T Squared. Shout out Justin Timberlake and Tiger Woods, their spot together.
It is their spot.
Lots of people came through. It was. I've been there twice now. First time I went, it was like cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday was Madhouse, obviously. Super Bowl Sunday, big ass game. Lots of Philly fans. Lots of Kendrick fans.
Oh, I'm going to that little parade.
You go to the parade? I'm not saying. I don't think it's gonna be a little parade.
Half away.
That is true. It's a quick
trip.
trip.
Why we?
Just a quick trip. You can go. I am Philly fans.
Be in the mix.
That's a lot.
They're gonna be happy.
Yeah, but it's a lot. There's a lot.
It's fun.
Mm.
Shit, New York ain't getting nothing anytime soon.
Relax, you don't have to say all that. I've never been to a championship parade. I'm sure I could go. It's probably quicker to Philly for me than it is to the Canyon of Heroes, which is downtown Manhattan. So I could probably make that trip. But in any case, had a great ass time. Bunch of friends.
So much fun.
Bunch of fam. It was really, really nice. Too bad the game kind of sucked.
The game was terrible.
Yo.
I hate blowouts, and I just hate blowouts.
Man.
I'm no sports commentator or analyst here.
You kind of are. What do you stand next to me?
It was really not a good game.
It wasn't a good game. It wasn't a good game for Patty, yo. People feel their way about Patty Mahomes because of his wife and his brother and the Chiefs winning all the time and all that type of stuff.
Good reason.
Very good reasons. Hey, listen, I ain't going to get in the way of reasoning for liking or disliking something. But I was like, you can't go out like this, Patty. Like,
so let me ask you something, Kaz.
Yeah.
As a man with all these sports tape, where do you think they actually fumbled?
So they just got
Where did they go wrong?
beat. Like,
you don't think they was there?
Nah, it wasn't even that. Like, it wasn't, sometimes, you get really lost in like the 2-week layoff of like no football, you know what I'm saying? But like, as you see them line up, like there was the Eagles are just so fucking big. Like their offensive line, the biggest offensive line in NFL history. Like they average on average 6'6". They had like a stat before the game. The average offensive line, and for folks and Rosie who may or may not know football as well, the offensive line are the big motherfuckers in front of the quarterback that protect them from getting hit.
I know what the offensive line is.
6'6".
That's
325 pounds on average height and weight. So just like picture like 9 of those big motherfuckers at bounce pop up, just making sure nobody touches Jalen Hurts. And Jalen Hurts had all the time in the world. He could have baked a cake back there. He was just sitting there, just like, where are we going? Where are we going? Touchdown.
Just looking.
And when nobody was open.
Just back there looking beautiful.
Listen,
no
man.
Hair flowing, no hair.
Listen.
Just being Jalen Hurts.
I got to give it up for Jalen Hurts, bro, because he is such... He reminds me of the way that people used to look at Russell Wilson when he first came. Before people like really got to know Russell Wilson's like personality, he almost has like a similar build too, but like the dude is just perfection. of a quarterback. Like, this nigga never says the wrong thing. He has a great team behind him. He took probably what would have been a moment that would have like ruined most football players, right? Like, he's in a national championship in college playing for Alabama, gets subbed out for a freshman. The freshman balls out, goes top whatever in the NFL draft. Like, he has to transfer. They make this motherfucker transfer to Oklahoma. Goes to Oklahoma, still balls out, still does his thing, but it ain't the Tide, you know what I'm saying? So people are like, all right, falls to the second round, ends up on the Eagles. The Eagles are still decent. Like, they're like a year or two removed from.
That's the only team he's been on.
Only team he's been on. The Eagles are already like a year or two removed from a Super Bowl. Like, they just had Nick Foles. They had the Philly special. They had all this shit. And the balls to be like, we're giving the football to this young guy. And they've only done nothing but be like a very good football team. And now a Super Bowl winning football team. And the dude is just like... he's the perfect dude you want as the face of your franchise. Like, all-American boy, good-looking cat,
great-looking cat,
plays the game like tough too. Like, he's not like a finesse player. Like, the Eagles beat your ass for 40 minutes, and
that was my thing. I'm like, did the Chiefs even show up? Really?
They didn't.
That's what, like, because was it a good game and then they fumbled at some point?
Nah.
But it just looked like they didn't they knew they were gonna lose.
You could see it in their eye. Like, yo, you know when they get into the huddle, like,
no confidence.
Dog,
None.
I saw it in like the fourth drive.
I think their huddle was like.
It was like, hey man, let's try something. Man, we gotta try something. You know what I mean? You're like,
let's get what we got.
The Chiefs. So here's the thing: the telltale sign when you getting your ass beat is when you can't run the ball and you can't get to the quarterback. Like, the Chiefs, granted, you got Patrick Mahomes. No matter if shit goes wrong, as long as you got number 15, you think, all right, this motherfucker could throw us back in the game. And for like the first half of the game, I thought that was going to happen. I'm like, all right, this is about to be his Brady moment. He's about to go down 20 down,
you thought it was...
have a crazy comeback, but then pick six. Shout out, you want to talk about DEIs and shit. Shout out to Cooper DeJean, DeJuan, white cornerbacks. Not only are white cornerbacks have made it to the NFL, but
cornerbacks is
a white quarterback getting a pick six in the Super Bowl. The ramifications of that alone.
Anytime I see a white man on any sports team that's not like baseball or soccer, I'm like, he's there for a fucking reason. He's there for a reason.
I don't know. I forgot what the stand-up is. I think it was
I've never seen a white basketball player that can't shoot. Like, that's all they do.
Right.
That's all they do.
But that's the thing, right? You ever see Dave Chappelle when he was like,
Dave Chappelle.
If you ever see a bunch of black dudes and you got that one white guy, there's no telling what that white man is going to get their respect.
And it's true.
And that was cool. Rookie, you know what I mean? First year. And y'all know, NFL players, NFL teams, athletes, we try our best to make this very much a meritocracy. Like, if you can ball, you can ball. But the one thing everyone has been comfortably racist about for the past several years is that white guys don't play cornerback.
White guys? Never mind.
Jason Sehorn was the last white guy I knew, and now he went on The Bachelor. Good for him.
Yeah, usually the white guy is either the quarterback or the kicker.
Yes, quarterback, kicker, wide receiver even. Even I seen a few white running backs, so I'm like, okay, you could, yeah. But cornerback? No, that is fast black dudes who can who are on you like white on rice. You know what I mean?
You usually play both, right?
Yes.
You usually play corner, safety.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Special teams.
But you know, safety's even a little bit more like you might see a white safety here and there because you still got to roam a little bit. But cornerback, it's like no, it's mano y mano. Like I'm locking up your number one wide receiver, and that is to me one of the hardest positions to play in all of sports. And not only that, he got a pick six on Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl and ran it back for a touchdown. So shout out to Coop.
That man getting all the love.
He did his thing, man. And like by halftime, I was like, all right, if the Chiefs could at least get 3 points.
Don't say that word.
We'll say we'll get to halftime. We got a lot to talk about at halftime. I just want to talk about the football before we get into it. By halftime, I was like, all right, if they could at least get some points on the board, he might get on his Brady. He might just be like, all right, down. We seen it happen with Brady. It was down 20-3 against Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, but
sat down.
Brady.
And that's the thing. And you could tell Tom Brady. I didn't get to hear it because we was, there. But they was telling me Tom Brady was cutting up on commentary.
He's like,
crazy about your boy. He's always like, huh?
Never beat me.
He's like, dang. He's like, damn, that's much. Like, hey. He said something along the lines, too. He was like, I've been down to more than this in the Super Bowl before and came back. And
Tom Brady, talk your shit.
He should.
He basically said, couldn't be me.
He should. It's rare that, like, in a game you don't play, your status elevates even higher. Right? Like, just him just being on commentary and watching Patrick Mahomes, who I think will be just fine, has 3 Super Bowls already. He's not even 30 years old yet. He has a shit ton of football left in his career. I think the whole conversation about him not being able to be the GOAT anymore is a little bit overblown. But that's the day after the Super Bowl. We're going to get our takes off. That being said, I know Tom is enjoying watching that shit. I know Tom enjoying watching that shit. Cam Newton. So I know Cam Newton sat down with Jalen Hurts, before the game. Black quarterbacks, man. They gotta sit together. Gotta sit together. So I like seeing them two go at it. And it's good for Jalen Hurts, yo. Like,
that's great. Not
just to get back to the Super Bowl after losing, where people arguably said you outplayed Patrick Mahomes. They just didn't get the ball at the last time. You know what I mean? They just did they devil magic shit that they always do. They come back with at the end. But to come back, you rematch them, and you don't just beat them. You
annihilate them.
The fuck out of them. The fuck.
Like Jalen Hurts could have sat down after halftime.
Oh no, dog. Like,
that's it.
First off, there was pouring the Gatorade on the coach with like 3.5 minutes left in the game. I'm like, yo,
they know.
It's a wrap, dog. And it was tough, but incredible Super Bowl for the Eagles. For the Eagles.
I was gonna say no, it was a terrible game.
And you know what? I got to give it to him, man. Saquon, I know he feels really good going from the basement to the penthouse, leaving the Giants, going to the Eagles. You know what I mean? Super Bowl in 1 year. So shout out to him. Jalen Hurts, 4th black quarterback in NFL history to win a Super Bowl. So big shout out to him. I'm no Eagles fan, but you know what? I will always salute history. I always salute black quarterbacks.
I was rooting for them.
Yeah. I didn't have a rooting interest, but I put some money down, and I'm like, I ain't going against Satan. I ain't going against Patrick Mahomes and that devil magic. I'm like, all right, they got the refs on their side. I'm like, something going to happen.
So you lost some money.
I lost a little bit of money. Money I could afford to lose.
I was rooting for them.
Money I could afford to lose. I got some of my legs hit though. I got the under on Barkley yards. I bet the tush push. I'm like, Jalen Hurts gonna get a rushing touchdown. So I broke even. But still, incredible game for the Eagles. They just absolutely was a Super Bowl sized ass whooping that,
All right, yeah, that was cute. Let's get into it.
But the real.
Let's get into it. That was cute. Oh, yeah, cool. Trash can. Let's get into the concert that we all attended.
Kendrick Lamar and absolutely tore that shit up. Let's talk about it, man.
Him and Uncle Sam. Come on.
So I watched the interview earlier in the week with Nadeska and the Ebro. Shout out to Nadeska and Ebro. Love those guys.
Yes.
And the story, the interviews, they were asking him like, all right, like what can we expect? You know what I mean? Like what can we expect from the show?
Not a guy in many words.
And he was just like, yeah. Kendrick was like, storytelling, expect storytelling. Mm-hmm. So the show starts, and then you see Samuel L. Jackson dressed as Uncle Sam.
That was genius.
I was like,
already genius.
This is where we going? I'm like, okay.
He was narrating the whole shit.
Yes. He had little intervals throughout all this shit, and the story that they were telling was basically like,
America.
That and the sort of like meta story of like Kendrick just being at the Super Bowl, like you're too this, you're too that, you can't do this, you can't do that in the show. Don't do that song.
It's too ghetto.
Too ghetto.
Yeah,
it's too ratchet. All that other shit. So I'm just like, okay, I like this. Sneaky play from Kendrick going with the unreleased verse to start the song. I think nobody hit. Nobody hit on them first song parlays, right? Like, so.
He didn't even do the song I thought he was going to do.
Nah. He went straight with an unreleased track, and, he's standing on top of the GNX, you know what I mean? Like, doing his thing, pretty much recorrecting the joint.
Kendrick, they free. How y'all get all the motherfuckers in that car?
Yo.
How did y'all get all the motherfuckers in that car?
Gosh, they had to be.
Just kept coming out.
There had to be either a hole underneath the car, or I
couldn't see it.
It was some real clown car.
They just kept coming out.
Shit,
loved it.
Incredible.
So nobody hit on the first song.
Nobody hits on the first song,
he does
but he gets. I love that. As the performance, I'm like, listen, the Super Bowl, when you're a solo artist, when you're a hip hop solo artist, that is a stage that not many have ever achieved. So I fully expected him. I'm like, yo, you got to do the new shit. You got to let people know, like, as soon as you get off stage, like, all them GNX streams got to be going through the roof, because we know all the hits. We know all the classics. There was a lot of people saying, like, oh, he should have did some of the old shit. I'm like, first off, he just did the Super Bowl a couple years back with Dr. Dre and Snoop, and he did all them joints. You know what I mean? So I'm like, yo, if you're getting another crack at it, you just had a career year, just put out an album, you about to go on tour, you better do this new shit. You just got hella Grammys, do the new shit.
I love how he introed the song, though. That little poetry break that they did.
So, obviously, the one moment everybody was waiting for was the question we all asked, like, is he gonna do this?
But that's what he said.
And I love that they leaned into it. Like, anytime they played like a low beat, and they were like, wait, we're not gonna do that. And it's do like 200
He was like, they want me to play their favorite song, and the girls were like, what song?
Yeah.
And they dropped a beat, and he's like, but they like to sue. I'm like, yeah.
I was like, oh shit, okay. Bro, insane. And then when he finally gets to it, he's saying, they like to sue, and and he finally gets into it. So
no, he didn't do it then.
Then they went into like Luther.
Yeah.
Luther, right? SZA comes out.
Yeah.
SZA gets his shit off, right? I'm like, all right, I like this. This is the girl's favorite song. I'm like, okay, I see what you're saying. And I love the double entendre, because like, you do the song with the ladies, but really, we was in that spot yesterday. Motherfuckers was singing their hearts out.
Everything.
When Not Like Us came on. But, he's still teasing it throughout. You know what I mean?
Because he knew that, like you said, he leaned into, everybody knew that was like the main topic. Like, is he going to do the song?
The discussion, yeah. And that's the power of shutting the fuck up, right? When you're not out here yapping and talking and on social media or doing interviews and podcasts and stuff like that, there's so much power. Like, silence is loud. You know what I mean? Silence is loud as fuck. So, like, when everybody got something to say, you could just kind of sit there and just absorb it all and just be like, okay, this is what they say, this is that. And he used all that throughout the entire performance. Like, all the little talking points, the lawsuit, is he going to perform the song? Do I deserve to be on this stage? Am I too this? Am I too that? Like, he used every single talking head talking point to tell the story of this monumental performance, knowing that Trump's in the crowd. You got red, blue, and white shirts making up the fucking flag and all that type of stuff. Like, you're doing all these symbolism moments, and then, we get to it. And the way they went into it when, Samuel Jackson's like, hey, man, ooh, great, this is going great. Thank God. All right, just make sure we don't have a culture. And it's and he was like, fuck, no. Like, Samuel L. Jackson, dressed as Uncle Sam, was, in my opinion, like, he was the voice of mainstream America. He was trying to say, like, he was saying all the
keep it cool, like, like, don't be too ratchet.
He was
Kendrick.
like, listen, man, this is a big spot for you, brother. You can't.
Come on, Kendrick, don't fuck it up.
Don't have us looking crazy out here, black man. You know what I mean? We know we don't get these opportunities, black man. And make sure you do this right. Make sure you did it.
I wish he would have used that voice.
Like Samuel L. Jackson was like a step or two away from just being on some like, make sure you you know what I mean? So right when he was like super happy and I was like, oh man, it's gonna be great. When Kendrick walks in like, says the shit the girls go, oh, you know, you gonna do it. And then, bam, 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 mustard on the beat. Depot. That nigga, he a freak though. And, you know, this is how I know motherfuckers really don't listen to music. They were like, oh my God, he's forgetting his word. He's out of breath. I'm like, that was actually one of the best breath control rap performances I've ever seen.
They said he was, who said that?
People who don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Oh,
because he said, like, he was radio editing himself.
Yeah,
like, all the shit he was saying,
he
was
cut out all his curse words.
Didn't say a single cuss.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Nothing.
Didn't say a single cuss. The mic was on, didn't miss a single lyric. And then the best part about it, obviously, the moment that I think is going to live in Super Bowl history is when, you know, he says, you know, nail nigga to the cross. We walk around like Tizo. And then he starts walking in the circle. And he's literally walking him down in that circle of red, blue, and white. And then he hits him with the, say, Drake.
I heard you like him young. Then I ever go to cell block.
Because the whole setup, I'm like, yo, what is he actually going to, like, how is he going to make this moment, like, is he just going to say the lyric and not acknowledge that we're all waiting for it? But the fact that he looked right down the barrel of the camera with a grin.
With a demonic grin.
Say Drake.
Say Drake. I screenshotted that because
everybody screenshotted it.
Listen,
that's the photo that went the most viral. That is the photo.
Was the smile.
That is the photo that is going to live with this Super Bowl. Not Jalen Hurts with the trophy. Not sad Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. Not sad Patrick Mahomes. The photo that will live in Super Bowl history is that photo right there. The fucking walk, the grin, and just the. I heard you like him young. Never go to cell. And the background dancers are, heard you like him young. Never go to cell block 1. And I'm just like, fuck, they're really going in, bro.
Listen, that and the last song he did was TV off, right?
Yes, yeah. And
do you remember how he ended it when he goes? Turn his TV off.
That's what fucking. That's when I was like, that's.
He said, turn his TV off. Wink. Yeah.
Dog. If you're gonna, all right. So here's my thing. I'll be honest. I'll be 1,000,000% honest. As a Kendrick fan,
don't hold back.
I'm holding back now. As a big Kendrick fan, did it kind of bother me just a tiny bit that so much of this massive performance was revolved around another person? A little bit, a tiny bit.
No,
but
that didn't bother me.
What are your thoughts?
That didn't bother me at all because I don't think. The song is the song. He already has these songs out. So there's no way around it. I don't think anything was based on like that.
I mean, my thing is,
I don't want to say that man's name. I'm tired of him. But I don't think Kendrick was intentionally like, the only thing that I think he did on purpose was what I said he would do.
What?
Why the fuck was Serena there?
Yo, can we talk about that for a second?
Why was Serena there?
I caught some heat on social media.
Why?
Right afterwards. Because I said the same thing. I was like, yo, my exact tweet was, yo, if we're calling this straight down the middle, if I was Serena, I would have said no. I wouldn't have did that.
I believe a lot of Okay, I believe he reached out to other people.
Of course. Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And I think she's the one that agreed. So now I'm thinking, what ex do I hate the most that I would do that for? What ex do I hate so much?
Yeah.
Like, who did me so dirty that I would go with the ops and be like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll crip walk while you dissing this motherfucker and calling him a pedophile.
I don't know, man. Listen.
I don't think she should have said no. Fuck no. We don't know what happened there.
I don't. You're right. So that's my thing. Like, when I first jumped out, I looked at it as just on the surface. On the surface, without getting too much into the inside baseball of who said what first and who dissed who and all that type of stuff. On the surface, when I first watched that, I was like, mind you, to me, Serena's the GOAT women's probably the GOAT athlete, but without a doubt, the GOAT women's athlete. The greatest, like one name basis on some Madonna shit. Yeah. Serena. Legend.
Who else she gonna be talking about?
I was like, man, I don't think she needed to do that, yo. I didn't think she needed to do that.
Why?
Because, all right, so let's think. So, and it makes me sound like I'm being a hater.
Yeah, you are.
But there's nothing crazy about Crip walking to a song called Not Like Us with a white husband. Like, that ain't a little.
What the white husband got to do with it?
The song is called, you talking about colonizers and all this type of stuff. I'm like, the song in itself.
She is a whole black
the
woman.
Song, of course she
can't choose who she fell in love with.
I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is, not only that.
I think you're reading into it.
You're going home to that man.
To the colonizer.
And not only that, yes, you're from Compton. Yes, you should be with another person from Compton. Y'all are the kings and queens of Compton.
Exactly.
Right? Nobody's more famous. So on that sense,
so the white person bothers you.
Not just that, but it's just like, we know the symbolism behind it. Like, on the surface, like, yes, Compton on the Super Bowl, of course. But it's like, bro, we all know the history with you and Drake. We all know the history.
Maybe it's just solely that.
We all know you married with kids, bro. Like,
maybe it's just solely that. The Compton, the Drake diss.
And I didn't even know this, but you know, as I was tweeting it, people were replying me like, yo, you know, like one of their sisters was like killed by a Crip like recently, like a few years ago. And I'm just like, and I'm not even hating on it. I'm just like, I just wouldn't. The performance without it loses nothing. Like, Serena not being there loses nothing. It's still a legendary performance. Still a legendary halftime show.
But it was a little cool that she was there.
It was cool. Listen.
It was a little dope.
It was like, it was the holy shit moment of the performance. It was like, whoa.
It did add that little.
For sure.
Razzle dazzle it needed.
It did. But it's just like, she is such a legend.
I think you're thinking about it too.
Maybe I am. Maybe I am.
I don't think anybody else thought about it like that.
Maybe I am. But my whole thing is the song Not Like Us, more than it being a Drake diss record, is a we are blackity black ass record, bro. It's hard. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it's hard for me to be like, yo.
I see what you're saying.
There's no irony.
But I don't want you. Okay, I see where your brain is spiraling. I need all the people in your head to calm down. And let's just look at this. Tell all the motherfuckers in there. It's not that serious. Tell them to chill, okay?
They're chilling.
Talk to the chill dude on the couch. Go grab him. And now look at it. It's just dope.
Yeah.
It was just dope. It was just fun to watch.
It was dope.
It was.
She was hitting that shit too. You know what I mean? Like,
Kendrick level petty.
Yeah.
Which I knew he was gonna do.
Yeah.
So just look at it for that. Don't talk to the other people.
Yeah, I don't think he's milking it because, like I said, silence is loud, and the fact that he's never had to say something or he didn't drag it out. He put the records out. He does the little symbolism. He has the lowercase a chain, the A minor. You know what I mean? The flag is like the lowercase. You didn't catch that? You didn't catch that?
Why is he right?
He has the lowercase a. Granted, it's PG Lang. You know what I mean? It's the A from the Lang. But a lowercase iced out A, bro? Kind of crazy. Yes. You know what I mean? The symbolism is out of this world. So my whole thing was, when you silent and the silence is so loud and powerful, I'm like, you have the biggest stage in all of music. You can do whatever the fuck you want. You can get petty. You can get vindictive. Like, this is your chance to take out the motherfucking chung and boom.
You think Drake watched it? You think Drake watched it?
He had to have.
I don't think he watched it live.
Can't escape it. You know what I mean? Like,
he's
in Australia. He's on a completely different.
He's in Australia. He escaped it.
He's probably just waking up and watching it as we're recording. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like, of course he had to watch it.
Damn, how do you think he felt watching that?
It's crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Like, all that being said, this might be a little controversial, but I'm gonna say it anyway. All this being said, in the next 2 or 3 years, you better have some concrete evidence this motherfucker was touching kids, bro. You better have some full-blown proof that this dude was doing what you said he did, or else it's gonna look a little nuts in a few years. Like, yo, the whole world on 2 separate weekends screamed A minor to you.
Weekend.
Grammys. Back-to-back weekends. Two of the most watched moments in pop culture history. The Grammys and the Super Bowl.
Insane.
Had motherfuckers saying, I heard you like him young, You're trying to strike a chord. It's probably
guys,
A
but at the
minor.
end of the day, it's just music. It's like,
Listen,
let's not take it to Young Thug's courtroom.
I
Like,
still think it's
music.
corny as fuck for this lawsuit. I still think he's corny as fuck for taking, going the legal route. I still think it's whack. But at the same time,
you say he ain't deserve all that.
at the same time, if you ain't got no concrete evidence that this dude was touching kids
I don't think
in the next couple of years, you gotta look at that thing as just a tiny bit differently.
I don't think he has concrete evidence, but I don't think that he doesn't either, if that makes sense.
How?
Like, I don't think he has like screenshots or whatever, but I think he's heard from reliable sources. Shit. Because
And I want to be clear. This is gonna be the last time we talk about this Drake Kendrick beef. I want this to be done. I want this to.
Clip it.
No. I said before the Super Bowl started, I was like, can today be the final? Like, this nigga
Kazeem,
won.
ask yourself that. You the one that was fighting it.
I was fighting, not
You
fighting
were
it.
You were fighting it, bro.
I said,
You literally
the
fought
tape.
with me and Lo
pull up the
about
tape.
this motherfucking song that you didn't even think was gonna survive the HBCU,
You're right.
the homecoming.
You're absolutely right. I was wrong.
Fucking February.
I have had some cold takes. I've had some cold takes in my career and life.
literally
That
fought
was
with
the
me and Lo.
coldest. That was the coldest.
You fought with me and Lo. We're like, bro, homecoming season hasn't even hit yet.
Yeah.
Wait till these marching bands get in on it.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Look at where we are.
All I said was back then was the song was really overplayed,
And
which
this
it
is
was.
Super Bowl.
And now it's one of the most played songs in history. I wasn't wrong. All I'm saying is, yo, they playing the fuck out this song. It's gonna be
It's
dry
a
as hell
good
by the
song.
time. It's a great song. I love this song.
Love it.
I've said
Still
how
not
many
timing.
times I said how great the song is. All I said was they playing a whole fuck lot. You know what I mean?
It's a good song.
Was that inaccurate? No, because it's statistically one of the most played songs in the history of streaming. Statistically, one of the most award-winning songs in the history of music, of rap music. And now
won
it was the
Grammys, bro.
motherfucking main event.
It won Grammys.
It was the main event of the halftime of the Super Bowl. So yes, it was played a fuck ton. I'm
it's
not
still-
taking
and it's still
anything away
going.
from
Look
it.
at
It's
you.
great, and I've had some cold take. I've had some cold takes in my life, in my career.
Say sorry.
Several months ago, I got right here in
Say
front of this
sorry.
camera, and I said, "Yo, has this song ran its course?"
Say sorry.
This was, I will tell you the exact date.
Just
The
apologize.
exact date. I have it pinned
Lo,
on my
if you're
Instagram.
watching, he's apologizing.
The exact date was.
I just want an apology.
I'm sorry. I just want to make sure I just want to make sure I'm. Be like the crescendo of it. Okay. All right. Yep. Yeah. This was 31 weeks ago.
It
Yeah.
was before homecoming.
Before homecoming.
Way
It had to be November, I want to say. Yeah.
No, that is homecoming.
July 4th, 2024.
Exactly.
July 4th, 2024 was when I said, yo, think the song might just run its course, man. Like, we're hearing the fuck out of it. I think it's just getting a little,
And
getting a
I was
little
like,
crazy.
absolutely not.
It is February 10th, 2024.
2025.
America,
America.
I was wrong. I was wrong.
Yeah.
The song had a longer shelf life than anybody could have imagined, especially my black ass. I was dead the fuck wrong.
You were.
My take was cold as fuck.
Fuck.
It is one of the most successful rap songs. Fuck diss records. It's one of the most successful rap songs in the history of the genre. Awards, streams, performance, impact, culturally, it hits all 5 fucking points of the shit. I was wrong.
Say Kaz. I heard that you was wrong.
I was wrong. I'm about to say, you better not say the other shit. I was like, I'm gonna call my lawyer now. I'm suing immediately.
Say Kaz.
But to answer your question, how should Drake feel right now? Relieved. Relieved
over.
that it's fucking over.
And that he has to see it forever.
The tour, we're still gonna see it. We still gonna see the clips. It's gonna be like motherfucking niggas in Paris, where every day we saw, how many encores that niggas in Paris could do. I think as this GNX tour gets going,
Oh.
we're gonna see which city is gonna let off the loudest A minor, which city is gonna let off the loudest certified pedophile. We're
The
gonna
one I'm
see
at.
all this shit. And they're going to take pride in it. Kendrick's going to be like, I think this city wins this week. Da, 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 da. And the next day he's going to be like, yo, Seattle was crazy, but yo, Sacramento, what can he do? Nah, 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 nah. And it's going to continue to go. I was wrong.
Crazy.
I will own that. It's insane that it's still going to go, but you know what? I'm willing to take the L. I was dead ass wrong, and if I'm Drake at the same time, I should be relieved that this shit is finally. I think it's hit its absolute apex. Like it can get bigger. How does it get bigger?
We're only getting
no. All right, no. See, that's where we disagree.
See, we don't have to agree.
This is where we got to disagree.
Right,
I don't think
he's going on tour.
Yeah.
We're gonna see so many clips of like different people doing different shit.
It's gonna be a
song.
It's gonna be a song.
It's not over.
It's gonna be a song that lives forever. Don't get me wrong. It's gonna be a song that lives forever. But as far as its climax, if I'm Drake, I can feel a little bit of relief that it's
he probably added more shit to the lawsuit.
It's hit its absolute apex. Now the lawsuit is another thing. Like, not only is this dude going to be performing it, but I'm sure they're going to be some reporters, cameras somewhere in that fucking courtroom as they're deliberating over certain shit. They're going to have dudes who have spent half of their life in universities, reading books, studying law, saying, sir, in Exhibit B, you said, certified lover boy, certified pedophile. Now, when you say certified pedophile, the word certified here, Webster.
Bring up the fucking
Webster defines the word certified as
definition. So
absolutely
what do you mean by certified?
Undeniable, undisputed, and solidified as an absolute fact. Now, Kendrick, where did you get the information that this man...
How did you certify him, Kendrick?
My client, Mr. Graham.
How did you certify him?
Which factual information did you use to certify this, huh? Your Honor, let the record show that Kendrick said, wop, 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 fucked him up? Is that what he said?
He said, wop, wop, wop. He's going to do his stuff.
Do his stuff? Mr. Lamar.
What stuff are you doing?
What stuff were you referring to? Were you inciting violent action against my client, Mr. Graham?
And what does the wop, wop, wop mean?
Now,
is that gang affiliated?
Mr. Lamar, now wop, wop, wop could mean many things. Is it a gang? Are you intimating gunshots?
We notice you keep doing something called the Crip Walk, which is also gang affiliated. Mr. Lamar.
All right, okay. That's the only way I can see it ever getting bigger, yo. If we're actually in a courtroom watching these motherfuckers deliberate, bar for bar, fuck Genius. Shout out Rob Markman. Fuck Genius.
Fuck Genius. Shout out my dog. Fuck him.
If we're gonna have people deliberating on the factual evidence of this song, that's the only way.
I'm really thinking about it, like
because it's like, yo. Listen, man.
And I hope it goes down like all Young Thug's homies, where Kendrick Lamar's like, I don't recall.
I don't recall.
I don't remember. Do you know what you were doing on February? Do you remember what you were doing? I hope it's the most hood court.
Oh, it's gonna be crazy. Now, I don't want to misinform the audience. Drake is suing UMG. He's not suing Kendrick, right? He is suing the record label responsible for quote unquote, pushing a song either artificially or not, calling a man a pedophile. Now, that's one thing, but the other thing is you can't fight the cultural significance of the song anymore. Like, I think it's absolutely.
Who's fighting it?
I think he is. I think Drake is alleging that, a lot of this shit was artificial. And obviously, we live in the real world, and we've experienced that they can't possibly be the case. Like, we've seen what this song does to people, and the tour is just about to start.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, Kendrick's only performed this song twice. 2 places.
3.
Where?
The pop out.
The pop out and Super Bowl. That's it.
Oh, he didn't perform it at the Grammys.
Didn't perform at the Grammys. He just came out. Hey, thank you.
Came out to the song. That was kind of a performance.
He's only performed the song.
He walked out to it in a Canadian.
Two times.
What was it called? The Canadian
tuxedo. Yeah, the denim on denim on denim.
He walked out to it in that, and right when he hit the stage, A minor.
You could have played any part of that song, producer. You could have just played the instrumental.
Why would you do that?
And we would have knew.
For what?
But
it was more fun this way.
You picked it up right at those 20 to 25 seconds.
It was better that way.
And you had Taylor Swift,
than me. I would have looped
Dr. Dre, Lucian Grange. Now listen.
Better than me. I would have looped it.
If anything, if I'm Drake, that's my trump card right there. That's my like, hey, listen, you got Lucian Grange, Dr. Dre high-fiving each other after they won this damn award over this song that's called me a pedophile and all this type of stuff. Like that's what I'm going to swing at. But you can't argue the cultural significance of this shit. Like it is an undeniable, legendary record now. It just is. I'll be the first one to admit the shit. When I thought, I was like, okay, this is great, but like, what's up? What else is next? GNX came out. It's still out here. The song's just doing well. It ain't not like us. You know what I mean? Luther good. Squabble Up great. TV Off. I love that TV Off was the last record. You know what I mean? But
because he turned your TV off.
It almost feels like TV Off is like Not Like Us Part 2. Like hearing them in succession was like, it almost felt like a
part 2, like a continuation.
Like, Not Like Us are going to close the casket. We're going to stop in that motherfucker. We're going to stop that shit close. Monster. So hearing them succession was like, damn, he really, same producer, same sort of high energy, all that shit. It was perfect. But overall, like I said,
I loved the performance. It was great. And if you didn't like the performance, I'm questioning what the fuck you like.
Wild to think it was like, I could understand what you feel about being on, if you're a fucking weirdo that is Team Kendrick or Team Drake, and you can't just fucking take yourself out of the situation and just recognize a black man headline the Super Bowl as a rapper,
right?
Not a rap singer, not a motherfucker who does all that dancing and all that shit, not a pop star. It's like bars got him to the Super Bowl. If you can't take yourself out and appreciate that instance alone, on top of the performance of it all, the artistry of it all.
And shout out Dave Free.
Shout out Dave Free. Shout out Punch. Shout out that whole squad, man.
A lot of that, I know he helped a lot with that.
Man, listen, like, Dave Free.
Y'all are geniuses.
I've never met Dave, but I know a lot of people who know him, and just creatively what he brings. Quiet guy. It's always the quiet motherfuckers. The whole team is quiet,
but he's
like the Mike Carsons, you know what I mean? Like those guys that just be quiet, but like just have such.
They'll be in the room, you don't really know who they are, and then you're like, oh.
Yeah, just incredibly talented guys, man. So like, shout out to them. You gotta take your hats off to them. And Samuel L. Jackson was a great touch.
That was
SZA, you know what I mean?
Uncle Sam,
great touch.
I get it. I get it.
Saw it.
I get it.
SZA was awesome. Did her thing, look beautiful. Luther, one of my favorite records right now.
That's great.
Still on the fence about the whole Serena thing.
That's 2 X's. You know, I was right. I was right.
You for sure called it on this show. You was like, he's gonna bring out all his exes. I'm like, they go Rosy being crazy again. Low ball.
Take crazy to recognize crazy, don't it? Huh? What would Kendrick do? I know what he would do, because this is what I would do.
Yes. We're gonna show you all the women that you know what I mean, I've scorned. It was like fucking Scott Pilgrim, man. Like the evil exes. You gotta fucking take care of that shit, yo.
I take it. Man. Good job, Kendrick.
Good job. Good job, Kendrick. Good job, Kendrick. That was for hip hop, man.
I know you don't get to hear from us, but good job.
Fuck it, yo. Like, forget what wherever place you side on the beef, man, to me, that was a win for hip hop, basically.
Yeah, that was a win for the culture.
That was a win for hip hop.
That was a win for us, for everybody.
Right, wrong, and indifferent. That was a win for hip hop. Now, Drake dropping an album this Friday. February 14th.
Right.
We'll party next door.
Certified. Never mind.
It's called Sexy Songs for You, something like that. Drake and Party. Now, Rosy.
Drake and Party next door.
Party next door, not Party Partisan.
I was like, what?
Shout out Partisan though, new record with Cardi B. You know what I mean?
Shout out Party, man.
That's a friend of the show as always. But Drake got a return serve now. Now, is he gonna return serve, or is he just gonna be like Valentine's Day?
He want to be.
Got my nigga party.
I know what he's trying to do.
What do you think he's trying to do?
Chicks tape. He's trying to fill that void.
I'm trying to take that Tory Lanez, right?
Yeah.
What? Listen.
And not too much.
Let's not act like Tory isn't inspired by Drake. Also, like Drake was doing these before. Drake was the original. I'm a rap for the ladies ass nigga and sing for them first. Like,
First of all,
Tory came after her. Tory did it great. Tory came after her. Mm-hmm. Any Canadian.
Tory, y'all about to fuck me up, but I don't care. I'm gonna say it anyway. Tory's the real Drake.
Rosy. That is not a good take.
He's not as big, but he's the real one because he's actually insanely talented.
He's insanely talented,
He's
yes.
actually, I think, has a Caribbean background. I think his mother or somebody's from the Caribbean, right? Lived in Toronto for a few years, right? Okay. Lives in Miami. All these accents are making sense, right?
I see what you're saying, Rosie. I still don't agree. I still don't agree. I'll get, like, whatever the fuck happened with Tory and Megan, like, whatever. This is a music conversation.
We're not talking about that.
This is a music conversation.
Yeah, we're not talking
you
about
know
that.
what I mean? Musically, it's hard for me to say Tory is the real Drake when Drake was doing Tory shit before we even heard of Tory. Now, and at a bigger level, like, let's not.
That doesn't mean anything.
It means everything. He could be super talented, but you can't say he's the real version of somebody who's did something
because
bigger and better than you.
Well, because I think I'm saying the real version because we don't question Tory. Like,
No.
we don't question like where he's from. We don't question his accents when he does his reggae and shit. We don't question none of that. When Drake does, it's like, where the fuck that come from?
I mean, Toronto's a very, patois, the boy, your bumbleclot city. You know what I mean? Like, you get a lot of, you never been to Toronto? Toronto, lots of island Caribbean motherfuckers.
So it's like London.
Yeah, more or less. It's
Because London has.
It's like London, New York, and Toronto share like a lot of similarities as far as like the Caribbean,
Yeah, I didn't know that shit.
pockets and shit like that. So it's like I don't, when Drake gets in his patois shit, like I don't. It's only weird because of how he looks, but like I get it. If you've been in Toronto, you get it. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, like, yeah, it's a lot of motherfuckers.
It's only weird because it's like, you don't look like you're supposed to be talking like this.
Like, a little bit, like, but I ain't going to act like there's not mad East Africans, Ethiopians, and Caribbeans in Toronto. And
I don't know. I've never been,
that.
so I'll shut the fuck up, guys.
Nah, I've been to Toronto. I'm going back to Toronto very soon. Doing Elimination Chamber.
Have fun. I don't think I'm allowed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you forget it. I got fryers, nigga. I can't leave the country.
No, I can. I
You know what's funny? You know who can help you get in the country?
Oh.
Drake. One phone call. I was like, oh, what? He said, what about me? Tory Lanez the real me? Keep him at the border.
I don't even want to go, Drake. I don't want to go.
You'd like Toronto. I love Toronto. I haven't been in a while, but it shares a lot of similarities to New York. It's just,
I probably would. Just never had a reason to go, really.
Whenever you get there. Remember this conversation whenever you end up there one day. I'm sure you will. One day. One day.
With the way I've been living, I might.
Maybe. I know how you live.
I know. I'm going to London this week, probably, if I don't go to All-Star.
Word? Yeah, I'm doing All-Star this weekend. I got a busy All-Star weekend. I can't wait.
I wish. If I was out, if I was making money, I would go. But...
Yeah, no, I told myself a long time ago after Chicago, I'm never doing All-Star, especially when it got to like a bunch of whack cities. I'm like, I'm not doing All-Star weekend unless like I'm paid talent or like I have gigs out there. I'm not just going just to be in the mix and shit. Like, no, it's a work trip.
Yeah.
I used to go there and try and like network and like, get my credentials and like interview all-stars. Like, when I was working for Translation, Stashed, Source Mag, all that type of stuff. Like, yeah, you'd go there and get your your content on for the publication you work for. But I made myself a promise. I'm like, not going back unless like motherfuckers like, we're paying you this to do this.
Yes.
I'm like, great, I am, and that's what's happening this week.
And
So
hopefully that happens for me next year because I'm not going if I'm not getting paid.
Nah, man.
So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go to fucking London and see my friends.
Mm-hmm. You love London, man. London's a great city.
I love London.
Great city. The Bay's a great city, though. I love the Bay.
I like the Bay too.
The Bay's fucking awesome. I always have a soft spot in my heart for the Bay because of Marshawn and summer of No Script for Facebook. Like, that was just a life-changing summer for me, just getting to be immersed in the Bay with like a nigga who was like the Bay in its purest form, you know what I'm saying? So like,
how was it working with him?
He was incredible, man. Incredible. Like, Marshawn was like, so here's the thing. We had like a team. When I was at Bleacher Report, we had a Facebook watch deal where we developed a show for Marshawn Lynch called No Script. And Marshawn was still like getting ready for to join the Raiders, you know what I mean? So he was just coming out of retirement, his like short-lived retirement and shit.
This was Vegas or Oakland?
It was in Oakland. It was in Oakland. He didn't play for Vegas. Like when before they moved to Vegas.
That's what I was asking.
Yeah. So we pretty much lived in Oakland, lived out of a hotel in Oakland for like 2-3 months in the summertime.
That's tight.
And it was really San Francisco, but like we taped in, his space down in Oakland and
that long ass bridge.
Did all that. Yeah, long ass Golden Gate Bridge, did a bunch of, it's fun, man. You'll see clips of it go viral here and there because it's just like funny shit. But like, if you ever get a chance to it's on Max. You can go to HBO Max or Max Stream and Marshawn Launch No Script. Like you'll see my black ass in there for a few episodes. But he was awesome, not just because he was like a real dude and easy to work with, but like I got to see how he was around kids, and he didn't give a fuck what we were doing. He didn't give a fuck what needed to be taped. Those kids in that area always came first, and he would let niggas wait. He would move taping around, and I was like, that's a real nigga right there. You know what I mean? Like, he made sure that, like, yo, whatever we was doing, whatever fucking camps he was running, like, those kids was always his priority. So I was like
the kids in that area?
Yeah, like he had camps. He was doing fucking, he was doing back to school shit. He was getting people books, fucking just spending time, just being around them.
Restoring his community.
Yeah, exactly. Basically, like, I think of that clip every time.
Trying to restore my community.
He's like, when he was talking to Richard Sherman, like, hey man, like, yo, I'm trying to give away turkeys in the hood and shit. People think it's a joke. He was badass like that. Like, I'm trying to restore my community. That's what he was on. So we spent probably a little bit more time down there than we planned on, but he was not budging. He was not budging. He was all about them kids, man. I was like, man, I fuck with Marshawn for that. Shout out my guy Nick Cregan. We was out there too. Incredible actor. You seen him in a bunch of shit now. A bunch of guys that we all worked on that show with was super fun. But yeah, I got a soft spot for the Bay, so I'm happy to be going down there this week and doing some stuff with hosting the Billionaire Boys Club party Sunday night, the after party. Chase B, shout out Chase B, Corey Towns, DJing as well. Jeff Hamilton's hosting as well. Doing some stuff with the NBA and NBA 2K. I'll be playing in the NBA 2K Celebrity Game.
Look at you.
Should be fun. Interviewing Joakim Noah before then with the NBA as well at their venue. And I'll be.
It's funny because earlier when I was like, damn, I was talking to my cousin about that, and she was like, who goes to San Francisco for fun, like for vacation? Like she quoted him, but instead of saying Cleveland, she said San Fran. And I was like,
Cleveland.
Cleveland.
It was like, you ever been in Cleveland on vacation?
He was so
he was dead ass because I've been to Cleveland. I've been to Cleveland.
It was his face. He was disgusted. He was like, who goes to Cleveland on vacation?
Now, Rosie, have you been to Cleveland?
I have been to Cleveland.
Did you not think who the fuck comes here for vacation?
Cleveland is hood.
It's very hood. It's a mix of hood. Like, being hood and industrial is a dangerous mix.
Cleveland was hood.
It's like Newark, Detroit. You know what I mean? Like, a hood industrial city is a tough mix. You know what I mean? It's like,
Cleveland was hood. Like,
I'll stay downtown.
Yo, never in my life. And I've traveled to so many places, so many countries, whatever. Never in my life did I think I was being set up before.
So, let's try to get you got in Cleveland.
I feel like it.
What happened?
I was out at a bar by my damn self, and I made friends.
Like you always do, like I tell you not to do. But you keep the strap on you, so you know.
And that was before probation.
I was about to say, why she got the prior? She's like, I mean, I ain't gonna be slipping, nigga.
I was at the bar and I made friends with these girls. I was at like a hookah bar, and then they invited me to go to like a spot because I was like, I've never been here. So they invited me to go to a club. I go with these two girls in their car to the club. They got dudes there. Then the dudes are like, one of them is like hitting on me, whatever. Then they're trying to come back to my hotel. And I was like, for what? But I didn't know where I was, and like they were supposed to be giving me a ride back home, and I just immediately had a panic attack because I'm like,
there's a small part of you that thinks they ain't shit to do in Cleveland. They probably just want to hang out in a hotel, all right? But at the same time, they're like,
that's the Rosy in me that's thinking that. But then I'm looking at the other side of these motherfuckers.
They could all just be like, we're gonna rob this bitch right now, and there's nothing you can do.
Kill her in the hotel room. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, see, that's why I don't like to travel alone. Anytime.
So when I started getting a little lit, I was like, I don't even know these people. The fuck am I doing? Like with that paranoia, like high, where you're like,
the Green Goblin man started talking to you, like, you don't know these niggas.
Yeah.
What the hell's going on?
One of the dudes kept pressing it to like go back to the room, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, they was trying to rob you. 1,000% trying to rob you, for sure. For sure. They sized you up. They called their men for backup. They had the getaway driver ready.
This is definitely when I used to carry hella cash on me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was going to put you in the tub. Like fucking training day. Housekeeper's going to come and like, housekeeping. Housekeeping.
For 2-3 racks is crazy. Leave me alone.
Hey, people will do it, man. Ain't shit to do in Cleveland. We'll talk about that shit for years.
But kill and rob.
Caught that lick in Cleveland, man. But nah, I've been to Cleveland a few times now. Still hasn't changed my opinion of it. Like, it's still not a city I would go on vacation. But it has its moments. It has its things. It has its downtown. It's a good sports city. I'll give them that.
I don't know by Wednesday if I'll be in the Bay or not.
All right, well, we'll see, man. I hope you come, man. It should be a good time. But I heard you like him young. You'll never go to Cell Block 1.
I do. No, I'm joking.
Hey, I'm sorry, I just saw a clip and just the first thing that popped in my head. But nah, so this week, obviously, 7 p.m. in Brooklyn comes out. Check that out. Thursday, I'll be doing something for Foot Locker and Karl Anthony Towns, I think, as soon as I land. Friday, Joe Noah NBA 2K tournament as well. And then Sunday night, hosting the BBC All-Star Game after party. And then, I'll also be at the games, at the dunk contest, at the 3-point shootout, doing all the things and stuff like that. So.
Oh, wait, Kaz. I went to my second wrestling match.
You did! You did, Rosy.
And you said I was there with the sickos.
You went to Atlanta this past week to AEW Dynamite. Yes, clap it up. Clap it up. And you don't even need to see me. You don't even need me to tell you that, because if you watch the main event of AEW Dynamite, you see Rosy big-ass head right next to Ricochet and Swerve, like, yo, you deserve it. You deserve it. Screaming the ass off next to West Side Gun and shit. Like, I'm like, yo.
It felt right.
It did.
Everybody was yelling at him, so I feel like I had to yell.
So, yes, you were in the, so her and her friends called me because I'm their wrestling touch point about lots of stuff. Like, all right, look, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, yo, all right, just let you know, this is an AEW show. You know what I mean? You're in there with the sickos in Atlanta. Like, Atlanta's a hotbed. There's like 5 hotbed cities of wrestling throughout the country. It's New York, Chicago, LA, Atlanta, and I'd say like Toronto, like Canada. You know what I mean? Like anywhere in Canada, it's like, yo, you go there and be like, yo, these are wrestling fucking fans.
I feel like they're everywhere.
No, it's different. I'm telling you, it's because you're here. You go to the big cities. Like you'll watch, if you watch. I don't know where they're gonna be next week, but like if they're not in a big city, you will see the difference. Well, okay, they're going to enjoy a nice night out. If they're in any of those big cities, like, oh, these motherfuckers here for some wrestling, nigga. They want some violence. They're here for the violence, dog. And he was right in the midst of it. So talk to me about it. Talk to me about your experience at AEW Dynamite. Our boy Swerve and Ricochet main event. I wish I could have went to see it. Those are my guys. Those are my guys. I love them both to death.
I wish you were there.
And I'll tell you, I'll get you a little bit of inside baseball, man. Like, I'm so glad obviously, folks who listen to the show, y'all know how wrestling works, right? Like, you don't really get to wrestle somebody you don't at least have a good working relationship with. I'm so glad these motherfuckers are wrestling together because for a long time, they're both like on opposites. Not saying they didn't get along, but they were just like, it was just not a friendly thing with those two, right? And
Background history, didn't know that.
And just knowing them both personally, I'm like, yo, man, y'all both great brothers. Y'all both good, fucking talented as hell. I'm like, yo, y'all gonna make some money together one day. I'm telling y'all.
So we'll probably be like, yeah, all right.
You know how Swerve is. You know Swerve be hating. You know he's a unabashed hater, bro.
Hater.
And Ricochet's the complete opposite. That motherfucker is happy-go-lucky, like, yeah, bro. Like,
I did meet him. He is like
super, just happy-go-lucky guy. I'm just like, yo, one of these days, y'all two are just gonna make money. So I'm glad these two are going out. I don't think it's the last time they're gonna fight too. I think they're gonna have a couple more big time matches with each other. But you was there. Talk to me about being in the midst of the sickos.
First of all,
shout out Mandy. Mandy was there too, right?
I took Mandy with me. I'm a multi-purpose friend, so there's not a lot of shit that I'll say no to.
This is true.
Like, I like to experience shit and just do shit.
You're always down for an adventure.
I'm always down for an adventure. So the first one, I feel like I wasn't like, I don't know. Maybe the second.
Hammerstein?
Yeah.
So Hammerstein was different. So it was like the second show. Like it was the second show. They had like multiple shows that weekend. And it was taped ahead of time. It was taped for Christmas, remember?
Yeah.
So it was taped, and then, like, they played it, on Christmas Day, because, I think it fell on the Wednesday or whatever. Where you went to was, like, live.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm
this
saying?
was completely different.
Yeah.
And I know I wanted to watch Swerve wrestle because I've never seen him, like, in action. So the sickles are sickles. It was a very, like, we walked in, it was me, Mandy, and her friend Crystal. And we walk in and we're like,
it's a little smelly. It smelled different.
What the fuck?
There's a different sense in there. It was. You can say it. You can say it. We know. I know wrestling fans. You ain't going to get past me. You smell the difference when you walk in. You're like,
It's a little grungy in here.
It's a little tart in there. Like,
So,
you can taste it.
Dog. So we do that. We grab drinks. And then we didn't have like seats or anything. So we're just kind of like walking around, like trying to figure out where to sit down. But that's the West Side.
Yes.
So I see him walk past me and I text him like, yo, you here? Because I didn't know if it was him, but it's kind of hard to like mistake him.
Yeah.
So then I just go up and tap him.
He always there, yeah.
Yeah, I go up and tap him. He's like, yo, come here. And I was like, am I allowed to? Like, I don't know the rules to this shit. So I just go and stand next to him and being like in like front and center like that and just watching it. I will say there was some very fucking boring parts. Like there was some matches that were like not entertaining. So that's when I went and got my drinks. But
some bathroom breaks for sure.
But when Swerve and Ricochet came out, they went straight to it.
Heat.
They went straight. It was like
they both.
It was just like nonstop, and it was like, listen, I know I be saying wrestling is fake and all that shit, but that they made me feel like it was real.
I'm telling you, those two guys.
It made me feel like it was real.
They're not just. I'm not even just saying this, because those are my friends. Those are two of the best professional wrestlers on planet Earth, and anybody who knows anything about wrestling will tell you that. And they have what wrestling fans call a lot of heat between them two. And heat is basically like a long built-up feud on TV. So, like, they were building this matchup for a long time. So it wasn't going to be a straight up, like...
For sure.
It wasn't going to be a, let's shake our hands. Let's... It was straight, boom, boom, boom.
Fancy
you know what I mean? Like, fuck all that fancy shit. We getting violent at the gate. You know what I mean?
It was violent.
Yeah.
It was aggressive. It was physical, and I liked it. I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
I didn't even know. Damn, this is going to be disrespectful to Swerve. I'm sorry, Swerve. I didn't know he was that fucking...
athletic. Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes, like, it is...
Didn't know that.
What they do is some and athletes.
I was gonna say,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I know.
Like, yeah, bro. Like, it's not just like play fighting. Like,
No,
you have to be a real athlete to do this shit. You know what I mean?
I don't even think the athletes I know are that athletic.
No, they're not. And I'll say this, and people think I'm crazy, but I'm like, nah, man. Like, as a nigga who knows a lot of athletes professionally, there are some things that these professional athletes that are getting paid tens of millions of dollars to do cannot do what they're doing.
Bro,
you know what I mean? Like,
You saw how it was.
Yes.
The video I sent, I was like, what
the power bomb onto the barricade when he bounced off the fuck. Power bomb is when you lift.
It's the second time I heard that this week.
And then you drop them on your back. Like you put the head in between the legs, you lift them up, and then you drop them.
Bro,
you know what I mean? Flat on their back.
It was crazy.
So
I liked it.
I've never seen somebody go to a wrestling show like live, like in person, like have good seats and not have a good time. It's impossible.
But Westside helped with that too.
Yeah,
because
shout out Westside Gun, man. Love that brother. Shout out Fourth Row. You know what I mean?
That was my cast for the night.
Yeah.
He was lying like a motherfucker. Like he really be like, y'all wrestling fans are crazy.
Yeah.
Like I really believe this shit.
We are. Like you have to have a level of delusion to enjoy it.
A grown ass man, I was like, so that was real security? He's like, yeah. I was like, and they knocked him out. He's like, yeah. I was like, why are you lying to
All right, not some of them. All right, that's a lie.
But like, why are you lying to me? He's like, yeah, you ain't see how they knocked him out. And
see?
I was like,
real hooper that met with that West Side Gun, man. Real hooper.
Why are you lying to me?
Because you gotta believe, Rose. That's how you enjoy most of this. Like, if I'm going here watching a show with you, and it's your first time watching the show,
crazy.
if you watching the show for the first time, like, actually, that's just like one of the fucking wrestlers that they have as extras, and they just wanted to beat him up and all that type of shit. You wouldn't enjoy it. You wouldn't be like, oh.
I mean,
whatever.
I respect the truth.
But if you see a nigga with a black shirt on that says security on it, it's like, yeah, you know, man, shit, that's security.
Mind you. Y'all, if y'all know Westside, he doesn't even like. He looks scary. He talking about it's real.
Yeah, nah. Westside Gun is a wonderful dude, man. I love that guy. Love that guy.
I was so happy like that he was there because it.
Yeah.
Gave me
it gives you comfort. Yeah. Exactly. And you gotta remember, like, it's still pretty new that like folks like us frequent wrestling shows as much as they do, and it's not like something to be frowned upon. You know what I mean? Like. The wrestling crowds, wrestling audiences have become bigger and blacker and browner over the past several years.
That's crazy.
And, I think it's only, contributed to the overall benefit of wrestling everywhere. I think it is having a renaissance and it's popping as much as it is right now because of the influence of like hip hop culture and black people being involved, because just black people just do cool shit. And if I think it's cool, then it must be cool. And other shit, like that's just how the fuck shit is. Fuck wrestling, just anything.
Dude, my DMs were like
mad wrestlers hitting you up. I know how they are, yo. I know how they are, bro.
My DMs, number one, first of all, it was just a bunch of people like, I didn't know you were a wrestling fan. I was like, I'm fucking not. I came here to support. And because I actually genuinely wanted to see him live, like, in person.
Yeah.
But no, my DMs were in shambles. And then I guess I made it again on wrestling Twitter.
Yes, you did. I saw you on mad reels and wrestling IGs. Like people like, there's a couple pages that I follow that were so into it. There was a video you pointed. I was like, you deserve it. Pointing at Ricochet. Funny as shit, man. Funny as fuck.
It's probably funnier to you because I don't know what the fuck is going.
It's 10 times funnier for me because I know how the wrestling online discourse gets. And so when I know a nigga personally, that is like the story of how they got to that show is like 20 times funnier to me.
But I think you like if you see that clip, I think they got it because Swerve reposted it.
Yeah.
But when they were saying like, yo, the girl, I was like, I didn't even know what I was talking about.
Nah, you got it.
I was just in the.
They gonna use that clip. They gonna use that clip everywhere, yo. And it's like, yo, listen, like if you're a woman that goes to a wrestling show and like you're not terrible looking, they're gonna use all your shit. Like you're gonna be like in every highlight package, like as soon as you walk in. They give up your rights to not be used in like any clips. So like when they do all them highlight tapes, it's gonna be you and Westside Gun pointing at Ricochet like look at all the clips, dog. I'm telling you.
Yo, how much Swerve paid me? I was hired.
Shit, hired guns. See?
I was hired.
Listen, man, AEW fans are gosh, even me saying this is going to get people upset, but AEW fans are extremely sensitive. They're extremely sensitive. So you can't even...
What's the difference? Aren't they a new company? Why are you splitting them up like that?
They are a new company.
So what's going on?
What do you mean? Like, what's the difference?
Like, why are you splitting them up? They're new.
There's not really. There's not a ton of difference between AEW and WWE, but I will say,
like, who jumped ship from WWE as like fan wise? Like, why do you think people? Because their shows are packed, so it's like, why do you think?
Well, that show was packed. The WWE shows are just they do bigger.
Obviously,
you know what I mean. But at the same time, it's like, well, AEW was basically born out of like the primordial ooze of WWE when it was just like, yo, you like action, you like fucking like work rate, you like motherfuckers who are like, yo, we gonna see some wrestling matches. WWE can get a little dramatic sometimes. It can get a lot more talky.
Yeah.
Not as much walky. You know what I'm saying? Like it could be a whole lot of
a novela.
Yeah, yes, it could be very novella sometimes. And if that's your thing, cool.
That's what basically we agreed on.
Yeah.
Me, Mandy, and Westside said it too.
Yeah, I mean WWE. So here's the thing, like, there's a lot of factors into what made AEW even a possibility, right? Like WWE used to be ran by Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon is, for all of the successes he's had, he's a crazy motherfucker and a person that, like, you know, without stating the obvious, many reasons why they didn't want to work for this guy anymore. Okay. Granted, enter Tony Khan, the owner of AEW, part owner of the very nice guy, extremely nice guy. Met him a few times. Part owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, billionaire dude, and loves wrestling. Like loves the purity of this shit. Like a lifelong fan. And if you're a pure lifelong fan of professional wrestling, that's your fucking guy. And you will run through a wall for Tony Khan, and like you will, you know what I mean? He coined the term sicko. He calls his wrestling fans sickos. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, yo, like we book, you know, we could do storylines here and there, but at the end of the day, this company is for like 40-minute long, fucking athletic, violent, just all go fucking athletic style professional wrestling. You know what I mean? WWE, much more sports entertainment. Glitz and glamour, drama, the big stages, big money, all that type of stuff, and they'll give you that. They'll give you some of that crazy.
AEW like the more underground grungy.
A little bit, I'll say that. It's got a little bit more grunge to it than WWE.
Underground vibe.
It's a little, you know.
Nothing wrong with that.
WWE's a little bit glossier than AEW, but I love them both. I know people don't think I do. I love them both. I have tons of friends in WWE. I have tons of friends in AEW. And there's folks that don't want you to live like that. You either or And if you
I saw your friend.
fuck you, huh?
I saw.
Who?
I mean, shit. How do I describe her? The girl the lady that's married to the other wrestler. Dude.
Renee.
Is that her?
Renee Paquette. Yeah, yes, she's
yes.
married to Jon Moxley, who is the AEW World Champion. Okay. And Renee is a wonderful person.
Hit me up. She's like, we fell asleep. Fair. She's like, we didn't have the kids. We fell asleep.
Nah, she's awesome. So I used to work with her at WWE. She's the same thing she's doing at AEW. She was at WWE for a long time. She's like the face of like those fucking interviews for a long time. And you know, her and Moxley are married and have wonderful kids. They're both wonderful people, wonderful children. I've gotten to work with Renee for a long time. She's fucking awesome. Everyone there is awesome. And that's the thing. Don't let fucking stupid ass, crazy ass fucking fans stop you from enjoying one company over the other. I've been in both locker rooms. I've gotten checks with both companies. I have great friends on both sides. I promise you, they don't give as much of a fuck than you do, bro. Like at the end of the day, the health of professional wrestling overall is all that fucking matters. If you like your wrestling violent, gory, crazy, enjoy that shit. If you like your wrestling sparkly, clean, fucking
rehearsed
novella type shit, enjoy that shit too. Whatever the type of shit you enjoy, just enjoy that shit. The only thing I don't want you to do is to be an asshole to somebody because of what they enjoy.
Right.
Doesn't matter what it is. If you're an asshole to somebody because they like some shit that you don't like, you're the fucking asshole. Okay? So she went to an AEW show. We haven't been to a WWE show yet. We're going to go to a WWE show. You will see the difference. You will see the difference. I think they're going to be at the Garden next month, actually. So we'll pull up there.
I want to go.
And, you know, it's
If it's not as physical though, I don't.
It won't be. It won't be, depending on what show it is, unless it's like a pay-per-view. So like WWE, except for like the main events, they'll save like their super physical shit for what they call their premium live events or their pay-per-views, which is like WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble. Though they're big shows, and it usually happens in like state, like where I just was for Indianapolis. Royal Rumble was in Lucas Oil Stadium.
Y'all
you know
are
what I mean?
nerds, bro.
Listen, you about to be Mark the time, yo. She got bit by the wrestling bug and she doesn't even know it.
I didn't get bit.
You
by
did get bit,
anything.
yo. You were having fun. Like stop fighting the fun, yo.
But that's only because
wrestling is fun.
I knew
Stop
it was
fighting
wrestling. If not, I probably would have been like.
You think people go there that don't know it's wrestling?
No, I'm saying I think I only had that much fun because like I knew people there.
Yes.
I was there to see.
You don't think I know people when I go there? You don't think it's fun? Stop fighting the fun. Stop making excuses for why you had fun at a wrestling show. Okay.
I didn't have that much fun the first time.
At Hammerstein? The Hammerstein was different. It was It was a pre-taped show. You know what I mean? They weren't really doing live shit like that. Like you went to a live taping. Like we are on TBS and HBO right the fuck now. You know what I mean? So it's like, yes. Like I saw when Ricochet got powerbombed, I saw you and West Side looking at you. I was just like,
I can only imagine Kaz's face like this fucking.
That's killing me, yo.
Like why is Rosy there?
Oh man, but it was a great fucking experience. I'm glad you enjoyed your wrestling experience, Rosy, for sure. Great fucking time.
Very confusing, but great time.
It's good to be confused. Yo.
Bruh.
Rosy, let's wrap this up, man. This is a fun show. Thank you guys for listening as always. If you're watching on X, watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to our Patreon. I'll have a bunch of shit going on in All-Star Weekend. I'm going to drop in there. Rosy's going to be doing some skits with our guy Meech, and that'll be in there too. If you want to see some Rosy skits, subscribe to the patreon.com/sayless.
I am going to do something.
Y'all don't even know the half of Rosy's hilariousness sometimes. So this will be her platform to do all that crazy shit, and you'll see some of my shit in there as well. Check out new episodes 7 p.m. in Brooklyn. Shout out to everybody who watched our latest one with Lou Young, and of course Rudy Gay. Got a new one dropping this week. We taped a couple, so I don't even know which one they're putting out, but whichever one it is, enjoy that. I'll be at All-Star Weekend this weekend, starting Thursday. Like I said, Karl Anthony Towns Thursday for Foot Locker. Friday, Joakim Noah and the NBA 2K Celebrity Tournament Friday. I'll be running around the All-Star Rising Stars game and All-Star Saturday night. And then Sunday, of course, I'll be hosting the BBC After Party All-Star Sunday night. I'll be back here Monday getting right the fuck back to it.
Sheesh.
Congratulations to Philadelphia Eagles. Shout out to you. Super Bowl champions next year. I don't know where the Super Bowl is next year. Marv, where's the Super Bowl at next year? Do you know? I don't know. But, shout out to them. New Orleans, always a great event city. I'm sure it was a great time down there. Food. Oh.
And if I'm not with Kaz roaming San Fran, I'll be in London.
Enjoy London.
At the Fulham game. Is it Fulham?
Fulham? Levi Stadium. In the Bay. There you go. All right, Super Bowl. Super Bowl's in the Bay next year. So there you go. Shout out to the Niners.
Busy.
Yeah, man. And, appreciate everybody listening in. As always, man, this is so much fun to do. And let's take us home, man. Like we always do with this time, Rosy. Stay free.
Stay safe.
And always say less. We catch y'all next time, people. Enjoy yourself. Have a good one.
We come a long way from the Averex, from the days when we had to make the waist stretch. Now it's Vacherons and all the Marpicay sets. You want to get money with me? Say less. Say less.